Hello, happy Wellness Wednesday. This is April Irvin with Sustainable Leadership, and I hope that this message finds you well. I'm coming to you again for our weekly reflection, our Wellness Wednesday reflection. And so today's reflection has to do with a question. If you found yourself in an organization, in a company that was very unhealthy, had a very toxic, stressful culture, you found yourself in a position that was causing you a great deal of stress, you found that you were dealing with extreme levels of burnout, you found that this role, no matter the title and the salary, was having a negative impact on your family and your personal life, would you have the courage to resign? With all that under consideration, would you have the courage to leave that position and resign from that position? And I ask that question because I have had the opportunity recently and over the last year to interact with a number of individuals who have had the courage to resign. I had a client that was working for a Fortune 500 company for 10 years, and she was a very high level individual, but she realized after that 10-year period and working 15 hours a day every day, that role was no longer for her, and she had the courage to resign. I just came across a dear friend individual that I know who's very prominent and had a very prominent role. And after dealing with his own extreme burnout, he had the courage to resign. And I had that circumstance for myself as well. I had an opportunity to work for a wonderful organization last year, but I realized it was a very unhealthy, toxic place for me and not where I needed to be. And I knew there was something calling me forward to move forward in my life. And so I had the courage to resign. And the reason I say courage, because it does take courage, because you don't always know what's on the other side of that decision. But what you do know, when you take that courageous step, that you are saying to yourself and to others, no matter what anybody else thinks, that you are willing to put yourself first. And I know from experience that oftentimes when we walk away from something, we are actually walking into something extraordinary. And I have the most ultimate example through my wonderful mentor, Simon T. Bailey, who 16 years ago walked away from a 7-figure position at Walt Disney World so that he could pursue his passion of speaking and writing and encouraging the world and encouraging individuals to embrace their brilliance. And 16 years later, he is touching the world. So it does take courage. It does take tenacity. It takes you to be brave. It takes faith. It takes belief. But just know, if you are currently in a position that is draining the very life out of you, take the step. Have the courage to resign. Have the courage to put yourself first, and know that when you take that courageous step for yourself, something is waiting for you on the other side beyond what you can ever imagine. So that's today's Wellness Wednesday reflection. And no, I'm not asking everyone to resign from their jobs, but I am speaking to those who are really dealing with significant levels of burnout, or they're really dealing in a situation, or maybe you have just come to the place in your current position where you know you need to move forward and you need to move out to grow into the next role that is for you. So I hope that that helps you as you think about where you are in your career. Have the courage to resign if necessary. And if your decision is to stay, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, remember, as leaders, we are influencers. If your decision is to stay, make sure that you are influencing your organization and creating the healthiest, sustainable culture that you can for yourself and for those that you lead. So as I've been sharing, I know that 2019 is the year of no more burnout. It is time to reveal, heal, and transform. Have a wonderful week.